Studying abroad is not just an academic journey, it's an emotional migration. The problem is not that people go abroad, the problem is that they go unprepared, emotionally and psychologically. Research shows that the migrants are more likely to face depression, loneliness, and anxiety as compared to the locals. In the UK and Wales, the number of migrants admitted to hospitals for mental health related issues are almost double as compared to the natives. But statistics hardly impress us, but stories do. Let me tell you about Ahmed. I met him in 2014. He came to the University of Tokyo on a prestigious scholarship for doing his master's. Every time he would talk about his home, his eyes would well up. He craved for his mother's food. He longed for the noise of his siblings. He even missed his cat. We tried to console him, but only after 11 days, he packed his bags and left under the burden of pain, shame, and failure. Some time ago, I got a call from Texas from one of my colleagues. She said she wanted to quit her PhD. Before we hung up, she asked me one question that brought me here today. What did you do that made you survive so well? And I could think of 4 secrets that I'm going to share with you today that helped me not only survive, but thrive. The foremost, I did not let the noise in my head overwhelm me. I encountered it. It was 2020. COVID had just ended, leaving its scars on our minds, body, and hearts. I felt my mind was all cluttered. I knew something radical had to be done. So I booked an appointment. I still remember the shaking of my hands as I signed the document stating any event of death cannot be challenged in court. Still, I boarded on the plane, unknowingly what is coming ahead. Soon I was flying at 10,000 feet height. Suddenly, the door of the plane opened and the wind blasted in. I felt my mind got blank. And then I heard the voice. 3, 2, 1. And I jumped off the plane. And that was the clearest mind I ever remember having. In that moment, I realized one thing, that in order to silence the noise in our head, we have to do something louder than our fear. That was a clarity I could achieve. But clarity is not permanent. Soon afterwards, my confidence hit a rock bottom. Out of all the people in the world, I doubted myself the most. I did a strange thing again. I rented a car and I drove to Minnesota, which is so cold that it converts all the lakes into thin sheets of ice in winters. I still remember standing at the edge in the car and looking into the endless ice and cold. I drove to the center of the lake. I turned my car off, I boarded off, put my hand in my pockets to prevent the shaking of my legs. And in that moment, I told myself, one crack and you will disappear forever. This could be the last moment that you are breathing. That was the moment which taught me that we are able to trust a thin layer of ice with our life, but we are not ready to trust the only person we live with, ourselves. We trust roads, cars, doctors, roof on our heads, but we don't trust ourselves. That takes me to my third moment. There's a famous quote, home is where the heart is. When we leave our homeland and we go abroad, we leave behind our culture, our traditions, our rituals, the scent of our family, the fragrance. And I was able to find all of these things back at a very unusual place, my kitchen. This is me preparing biryani in 2014 for the first time in Tokyo. One ball of rice converted my apartment into a home. And I found that home is not a place. It's a feeling that you can recreate anywhere, anytime. And the last thing was the power of saying something very simple, yet so enormously powerful. The power of saying hi. The power of starting a conversation. Because that could be the only thing you or someone else can be needing. So I found myself thriving in connections, in finding friends just by starting conversation that turned into lifelong relationships, lifelong friendships. So I found myself into doing uncertain things, into coming out of the comfort zone, in stretching my limits, and in creating home within myself. All of you can take this example and can apply on yourself. All of these things helped me, and I'm sure this is going to help all of you. You will not only survive, but thrive abroad. The only condition is that you prepare within yourself. Thank you very much.